All right, Marvel announced that the Captain Marvel film will be set in the 90s. That's right, baggy jeans, hacky sacks, Alanis Morissette, and Pogs could all possibly be making a comeback in this film. Now, this is clearly before the events of Iron Man back in 2008. Also, we do get to see Skrulls in this film. And for those of you unfamiliar with the name of Skrull, it's an alien life form that has shape-shifting abilities, in short. So does this mean Marvel is setting up a possible Secret Invasion storyline for Phase 4? It's possible. Secret Invasion is a storyline about aliens posing as Marvel characters. And it's a good story to check out at your local comic book store. You'll be able to get all of the issues that you need there, so be sure to support local. Also, there's a lot of speculation online about who could be an alien imposter. Now, I'm leaning towards Nick Fury and Black Widow. At the end of Iron Man 1, Fury tells Iron Man that he's part of a bigger universe, he just doesn't realize it yet. So this is all speculation, but I think Nick Fury could be a Skrull in disguise, and that's why he started the Avengers initiatives to spy on them, and why he keeps Black Widow so close as well. Who knows? If you have a theory, leave it in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. All right, next up, Warner DC announced that their next film after Aquaman will be Shazam, and production is scheduled to begin in February of 2018 at present. So for those of you unfamiliar with Shazam, he's actually two different people, so I'll explain that. So Billy Batson is around 12 to 14 years old, depending upon which comic book run you're reading, and he gets imbued with powers of Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury, thus making up the Shazam title. And he gets these from a mystic who is too old to continue the fight against evil. And all Billy has to do once he gets the power is say Shazam, and he turns into a Superman-like hero. So he's a grown-up superpowered hero with the mind of a preteen/teen, again, depending upon which run you're reading. So it's pretty great. If I could, I would like to cast my vote for John Hamm getting cast as Shazam. Now, if you've seen John Hamm in any comedies, you probably agree that he could pull it off, the adult superhero who thinks like a kid, flawlessly. Now, I haven't seen any news linking Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to this film, even though he has been cast as Black Adam, and Black Adam is the nemesis to Shazam. So it's still unclear as to how that's going to work, but as more news is provided, I'm sure we'll cover it here. And if you have any additional thoughts about it, go ahead and leave a comment below. Next up, Lionsgate announced that they're interested in doing a possible spin-off film for the John Wick franchise. Now, Lionsgate won the rights to a script titled Ballerina and hopes to create a female-centric action flick from the John Wick franchise. Now, I think this could be a pretty cool idea because after watching Atomic Blonde this past weekend, stay tuned for my review later in the show for that. I'm curious to see what else comes of the news, and hopefully we'll see the casting announcements and more like that soon. Sooner than later, rather. So there are some pretty bad ladies in the Wick franchise already in those first two films. So I'm not sure if those ladies are actually going to be the protagonist or if they're going to completely set up new characters and a new character specifically in mind for this new role. I'd also be down for a spinoff of just the Continental. The hotel has such great mystery about it in the John Wick franchise that I would like to see that explored a little bit more in movies. So, you know, stay tuned for more news about the Continental, possibly, hopefully, fingers crossed. Definitely stay tuned for more news about this Ballerina, possible spin-off franchise. And yeah, we'll see what develops there. Now, Variety reported that Bryce Dallas Howard is set to make her directorial debut with the film Sort of Like a Rock Star. Now, according to Variety, this film will be an adaptation from the novel of the same name, written by Matthew Quick. Now, when Howard isn't running from dinosaurs in high heels, she's been busy behind the camera directing short films already. So I'm curious to see more from this movie as things get closer and more things progress. The story was originally set up with Fox Searchlight, which typically does lower budget dramatic films, and I feel like it might fall right into their wheelhouse. So the basic premise of the story is a female high school student named Amber Appleton decides after an altercation at home to live in her mom's school bus during her senior year. So sure, why not? That sounds intriguing enough. It's got some good drama there, so let's see what comes of it as we get closer. Currently, this film is still in early development, so we'll just have to wait and see. And if you'd like to read that article from Variety, the link is in the show notes below. Happy belated birthday, Lord of the Rings. That's right. On Sunday, the Fellowship of the Ring book turned 63 years old. So make sure you all go out and enjoy that movie, or you go back and you revisit that book. It is a big book, so take your time with it. Now, also, Jared Leto is in talks to possibly star in a Bloodshot movie with Sony. Now, I was not familiar with the character of Bloodshot, so I had to do some research. And I guess he originally appeared in Valiant Comics in 1992 as a character named Angelo Mortali. Now, he was a hitman for the mob, turned to witness protection after getting framed for a murder, which seems kind of odd because he's already a murderer, so why would he need to be framed for a murder? It just didn't make any sense, unless, like, for some reason, like, the murder didn't live up to his standards and he was like, oh, no, that is not me. I don't get why. But anyway, moving on past that point. While in witness protection, the feds inject him with these nanonites, which are these tiny little computers, and he is rebuilt with superhuman strength and healing powers. And he's also made to be a living weapon named Bloodshot. So it sounds kind of cool. It sounds like this could be like a really awesome action, vengeful tale, just like rampaging through town, like killing people, like all these bad guys and everything else. So that sounds like fun. It could be a fun action movie. I'm not familiar with the character, so I can't really speak too much about the stories. But if you're familiar with the comic, go ahead and leave comments below and let us know what you think. And then also, if you're a Jared Leto fan, you can leave those comments below as well, and we can go ahead and just kind of share that fandom together.